White team. Steve, did you always have a preference, or were you always interested to see, okay, which coach is picking me for which spot?
We did a little different. Receivers, it wasn't as effective as much because we were interchangeable. We would throw a penny on. If we were on a white jersey team, then we'd throw on a red penny if we needed to. The receivers were so interchangeable, it didn't really matter what team we were on because we were technically playing for both. We didn't have a set roster where we were only red or only white.
Second down to the 28, the give again to Reed. He's getting a lot of action today.
Reed's getting a lot of action right now, but going back to what you're saying, Dave, what I was told by Matt Taylor, our sports information director for football, he says this is actually two split squads. Nobody's going on the other team. Winner gets lobster and steak. Loser gets franks and beans.
Yeah.
So you can remember, though, back when you were on the training table, Steve, it's pretty good to get some steak and lobster. You don't really want the franks and beans, but
yep.
it makes it fun. It makes it fun for the kids, and it gives them something to really work hard for.
Third down for the red team. Pass over the middle. It's complete to Marcus Leak. He's got the first down inside the 10, down to the 5 still.
How about that?
Touchdown, red team.
See, now that's the big plays that we were talking about.
Unfortunately, it's going to come back. I think there was holding in the middle there. But what a great pass by Perry Hills. And it was Marcus Leak who was just doing a drag across. Oh, it's going to be defensive holding. It stands.
Like that.
It stands, but that was great.
All
it was
about the lobster and the steak. Is there a tofu option?
There's no tofu, no. Not what I was told. But Marcus Leak dragging across there, Perry hanging in there. The pressure started getting to him. He delivers it. Marcus Leak makes a great catch, and then with that size and that power, Steve, I mean, I haven't seen many wide receivers as strong as Leak, and he just bowled over about 3 or 4 guys to make it into the end zone.
He does have a great body type, and that play, to go back from the beginning, that's a play a coach would love to run all the time. I mean, that's a single read. Leak's dragging on a 5-yard drag across the middle. He's the first option, so if he's there, you hit him. It's a 5-yard gain, or you let Marcus Leak take it for 30. That's the plays that you need to make. He's definitely showing that he wants to spot come the fall here with a play like that.
Point after is good by Adam Green. Yes, no Brad Craddock to think about this season. Quite a career he had as a Maryland Terrapin. A lot of national honors before he left, and what an incredible career he had here. But Adam Green converts the point after.
Well, no, Craddock's back. Craddock's back.
That's right.
He's definitely back, and he's kicking for the white team. The red team scored, so that was Adam Green's team. But Craddock, I mean, he is a great story. I mean, a guy that never even played football till he came. The first football game he ever saw with his own eyes was a game he suited up for against JMU his freshman year. He's a hard worker. Not many kickers are someone that the coach uses as an example for everybody else to know what hard work's about. He's a great kid. He's on the leadership committee. I mean, I love him to death, and I'm looking forward to his senior year.
He is a great kid, and a deeper story now that Craddock's experienced the new holder and a new snapper. And he hasn't had the best spring, and it's because of those things that a lot of people don't necessarily know how important those holders and snappers are, man. It's
Yannick Ngakoue coming through for a defensive play. They're tipping the pass. Shane Cockerville hit on this possession as well. They move the ball back 5 yards.
Yannick Ngakoue, I think he is going to wreak some havoc this year. They've been really happy with the way that he's come along. And I've asked Loxley, Coach Loxley, offensive coordinator, how's the offensive line coming? He goes, they're doing okay, but Yannick is killing them. He says he's so good that it's great for those guys to be going up against him.
Cockerville again out of the gun. This pass complete to Vay, near side, behind the line of scrimmage.
That's Coach Loxley right there, just off of what you said, your point of not being able to block Ngakoue. So they say, you know what, let's let him rush hard, and we'll just swing a quick screen out his side, but they fortunately weren't able to get the linebacker out there.
We go from 2nd and long to 3rd and extra long. Ball spotted at the 18-yard line near a hash mark. Cockerville looking to get a conversion here.
Well, he's just got to take what the defense gives him, give it to a guy who can make some plays.
4-man front, trips to the far side. Cockerville has room to run. Fires, near sideline, incomplete.
If I'm Shane, the quarterback there, sorry, Tim.
That's fine.
You got to really expect big things from him out of this game and out of this spring. I mean, you're essentially the only quarterback. You're getting all the reps for first team. This is a big moment in his young career, really. Yep. I mean, you got all the attention. You were the only guy basically getting talked to in meetings. You're one-on-one with Coach Loxley the whole spring. You're getting all the attention, and this is a big challenge for him. Show the coaches that all that extra time that he was given is something that they can invest in.
Punt by Nicholas Pritchard lands at around the 45-yard line, 44-yard line, still on the side of the white team. Red team takes over.
Going back to what you're saying, though, I mean, I think the coaches know what they have in Perry Hills. He's not a dominant player. He's not a dynamic player. I think he's somebody you can be comfortable with putting into a game. He's not going to make big mistakes. He might not win the game for you, but he's certainly not going to lose the game for you. They don't know what Shane can do. Yeah. This is Shane's opportunity to shine. I think it's pretty much Caleb's job to lose come fall when he gets healthy from that ACL injury, and I'm a huge Caleb fan. I'm looking so forward to seeing this kid get out there and play. I know he drives the coaches nuts because sometimes he'll take a little, shot that maybe he shouldn't, but I like that in a quarterback. I don't want a quarterback that's just going to check it down, but you're right. This is for Shane to really show what he can do.
Incomplete on 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Perry Hills, the 6'3" junior from Pittsburgh and Central Catholic High School, threw only 10 passes this past season, but I think everybody remembers him as the guy who started in Coach Randy Edsall's second season, led him to that opening day win over William and Mary after C.J. Brown went down for the season 2 injury. No C.J. Brown on the team this year. That's half of our prep right there.
Are you sure he's got to be down there somewhere?
Word is he did apply for a 7th, 8th, and 9th year of eligibility.
Well, it felt like he was here for 7, 8, or 9 years, to be honest with you. But they are going to miss C.J. I mean, C.J. was a tough kid. He had a hard time. He had some ups and downs in his career, but you don't end up, top 5 in just about every category as a quarterback if you're not good. He's made a decision. He's just going to go into the business world. He's decided to give up on football. He didn't think he had much of an opportunity to go on and play in the pros or in Canada or in the arena leagues. He just wants to become an adult. But he did a heck of a job here for this program in the 6 years that he was here.
3rd and 10. Hills out of the shotgun. Looking. Moving to his left. Hey, complete pass to Albert Reed in the flat. Gets past the 35, down near the 30-yard line. It's a first down for the red team. Perry Hills moving the football this
He's doing a good job. Now, he's already got one scoring drive, and there, it was 3rd and 9. He got flushed out of the pocket. He goes to his left. He keeps the play alive with his feet, but instead of trying to make something of his own feet, which aren't great, he's not the best athlete in the world, he finds Albert Reed, who sneaks out from giving a little bit of protection, and he's able to pick up a first down. Now they go
a little bit of wildcat. Yeah, I know. Perry Hills split all the way to the near sideline. Albert Reed in the backfield takes the shotgun snap past the 30-yard line down near the 29, so it'll be 2nd and long. 5:17 to play in this first quarter. 12-minute quarters from what we've seen.
I like the way that the red team right now, it's both offense and defense have come out. It's played on this side of the field. With the white team backed up with their backs against the end zone. White team offense hasn't been able to even get over midfield, but the red team doing a heck of a job and knocking on the door here and again.
One back with Hills in the backfield. Facing 2nd and long. Fires.
Oh.
Far sideline, incomplete pass intended for Marcus Leak. He caught the touchdown pass earlier this afternoon.
Well, they caught the white team in a true 2 deep. There's a little void area there, Steve, at about 22 yards when the cornerback lets the the fade pattern go and the safety's supposed to come over top. As a quarterback, that's the hardest throw in football. You got to gear down. You got to throw it on a rope. It just got a little bit out of a reach for Marcus Leak. Perry's got to learn how to put that right on the money. That would have been a touchdown if he had caught it.
3rd and 8 for the red team. Again, Hills out of the shotgun snap. 2 wide receivers near, 2 far. One back in the backfield. Hills pass complete. Left side out of bounds goes DeAndre Lane.
Going back to that cover 2 call, it's not the best for a receiver either because that safety's barreling down on you. You're like, you got to have a lot of trust. If that quarterback doesn't put that on the rope at that 22 yards, you're either going to get blown up or it's not going to be a good situation.
Well, as you said, trust. You got to know that he's going to give it to you.
Yep.
How physical do these games get, these spring games get? How no holds barred can it get?
This is full deal, man. This is not, you don't take anything back because a lot of these kids out here are trying to win and earn a spot. So they're
4th down pass is intercepted by Antoine Carter, the sophomore from Waldorf, Maryland. Intercepting the pass, white team ball. Gamble on 4th and 1, threw it into the flat, got picked off.
Well, Perry Hill's got to know, even when he was a freshman, he knew that you can't throw a ball to the flat late and you can't let it kind of die on you, and that's what happened. Anton Carter did a great job just stepping in front and giving the white team now an opportunity to finally cross midfield and put some points on the board. Right now, Reds up 7-0 with 4:15 left to go in the first quarter.
Shane Cockerville over center. Ball spotted at the 42-yard line. One back in the backfield. Give. It's to Brandon Ross. Straight up the middle. Churns all the way near the 50-yard line when he's brought down.
Preston, to go back to your point, these kids are going to play hard because they're going to try to earn a spot here, earn some playing time, and barring a catastrophic injury, you can come out in this game and get banged up. You'll have plenty of time to recover before the summer starts. So you're not really worried about getting hurt out here. You're more concerned is what position on the depth chart am I going to be come camp?
Second and short from the 49-yard line. Again, one back in the backfield, two wide receivers near. Again, the handoff to Ross, straight up the middle. Stopped close to the first down marker. Looks like he got two, perhaps three.
Looks like he got it. They're going to move the chains. Good job by the white now team getting out there, moving forward. And right now it's the offensive line. That's what I was saying, Steve, before the right at the beginning is I'm not worried about the wide receiver crew. I'm not worried about the defensive backs. I'm worried about what's happening in the trenches. Big Tens for big boy football. Right now, in this drive at least, the white team offensive linemen are really getting a good push.
White team on the move. Two wide receivers split far. The give again. Ross up the middle. Has a little bit of a juke past the 40 down to the 39. Going to be short yardage again for the white team.
And his point well taken. I mean, if I looked at the box score of this game and I just saw this on, tomorrow in the paper or whatnot,
right,
the white team better have more points than the red team. I mean, essentially you're the one offense going against the two defense. If the white team has a hard time scoring, that doesn't reflect well on Shane, doesn't reflect well on the receiving core. They're basically whole offense. You want to see this white team come out and score more points offensively. Now, if the red team's defense is making pick sixes and things of that nature, it's a different story. But
looking at the red team, though, it looks like maybe there's a bunch of starters on that red defense.
Second and one, the give to Goins up the middle. Kenneth Goins Jr., the junior from Baltimore, Maryland.
Looking at the two deep, though.
Oh, yeah, I do see.
It's actually it's ones versus one. So when white's on offense, it's number one offense versus the red, which is the number one defense. And it looks like when Perry comes in for offense on the red, that's twos versus two.
A laundry list of defensive backs. There's about 10.
You can never
lining
have
up there
too many
for the
of them.
white team. Third and short, out of the gun, and he takes it himself. No contact as he is wearing the gold jersey. Shane Cockerville scrambling for the first down. They move the chains again.
One thing about Shane Cockerville, he was in the Elite 11. He made it, and people were pretty shocked about that because he wasn't known as a pure passer. He's known as an athlete. But that's the thing he brings to the table that Perry doesn't. He's able to run that read option. He's a big kid. He's a strong kid. He's got good athleticism. Unfortunately, in the spring game, you can't tackle him, so it's a little bit unfair to run a
Cockerville again, rush this time after the shotgun snap. Nice pressure.
Look who it was.
Yep, there's your boy, Tim.
Yannick Ngakoue. I mean, this kid, he has a motor. Such a good kid. He's one of those guys that comes up to you, looks in the eye, shakes your hand. Whenever he sees me, he goes out of his way to come over and say hi. I mean, he's just a very respectful, good young kid who's always looking to try and get better. And I think it's really showing right so far in the spring. And I'm really looking for him to have a huge year this year.
Second and long, facing the white team again out of the shotgun. Cockerell has two backs alongside him in the backfield. Two wide out split to the far side. A left-hander, a bubble screen. Actually, that could be close to a lateral, but it's a long handoff. Caught behind the line of scrimmage. Again, nice pressure and hustle by the D.
That's Levern Jacobs. Now, Steve, I've talked about Levern now for about 3 years. I mean, he's another guy I feel like he's been here forever. 3 springs ago, I said, wow, this kid is special.
Yep.
This kid can play. Coaches didn't really trust him in his freshman, sophomore year, so he didn't get a lot of time after that, after I saw him have that huge game in the spring 3 years ago. Then he had a mishap last year, had to sit out, suspension. But I think this kid, I mean, he's definitely faster than Stephon Diggs. He might not have the shake that Stephon has or the dynamic playing ability, but he's got big playability, and I think he's going to be one of the guys that really emerges as the go-to guy.
Flag on the play, second and long, a pass to the end zone, incomplete. Under a minute to play in the first quarter. The red team leading the white team this afternoon on BTN to go. Glad you're aboard with us this afternoon for spring football.
And I sure hope you're right, Tim, about Laverne. I've noticed it as well. He's definitely a playmaker. One thing you don't know of why he didn't get some time after that spring is what's going on upstairs as far as missed assignments go. You can always see a guy catch a ball and go 60 or 70, but what is he doing on the other 10 plays? Is he in the right position? Is he running the right routes? Is he read the defense the same as the quarterback? So we certainly hope that he's a total package in that right.
3rd and 10, the handoff to Ross, straight up the middle.
Well, leave her into me. So 2 years ago, when Stephon and Dion Long broke their legs, he was the one that stepped up.
Yeah,
he became the go-to guy.
Yep.
And I think you're right. Early on, he didn't get it because they couldn't trust whether he was going to do the right blocking or he was going to do the right things when he wasn't getting the ball. 2 years ago, we saw what he could do, and I think the coach was really happy about that. So disappointing that he had a mishap last year and had to serve the suspension. But then he still practices with the team all year long, wins Scout Team Player of the Week twice, really works on his game, and coach was extremely impressed with the way that he matured, even though he had to sit out. But he matured as a person, as a player, and I think that the coaches really noticed that. Maybe that's going to pay off and really pay dividends in terms of allowing him to become that guy.
Good.
First quarter expires. The white team with the ball facing a 4th and about 5 from the 30-yard line. We'll be right back on BTN to go. Field at Bird Stadium. Dave Preston at the 50-yard line with Steve Suter and Tim Strachan. We are here for the red-white game. The red team with an early 7-0 lead. Field goal attempt is up and good. So just like that, it's 7-3.
That was a 51-yarder.
Yeah, that was a nice block.
Are you kidding me?
That was a big boot.
That was a 51-yarder. And as you were saying, I mean, he still is. He had talked to him after the scrimmage last Saturday. He said he feels good about his kicking, but you're right. There's a team aspect to kicking.
Absolutely.
And it's the snapper and the holder and the kicker have to be all in sync. Last year he had, he was so confident in the guys that were doing that. He doesn't have that right there, but to kick a 51-yarder, it's pretty impressive.
Nice positive vibe there.
To use the analogy of golfing, I mean, it's like essentially somebody moving your golf ball a split, like an inch or two right before you hit it.
You're right.
I mean, that's going to change the whole aspect of the hit.
Laces out, Dan. Laces out. 7-3, the red team now with the football at their own 30-yard line. No kickoffs.
Finkel, Einhorn. Finkel, Einhorn. Finkel, Einhorn.
Oh, gosh.
That'll stand the test of time, that movie there.
Sadly. The thing is, they use clips from Super Bowl 19 when it was a 38-16 game. Miami wasn't even in that game.
You know what? I don't think I've ever paid attention to that.
Handoff on 1st and 10 to Joe Riddle, straight up the middle.
Go.
He's got a first down.
Joe Riddle, the unsung hero of every spring football game.
Riddle, no.
He's going to get an opportunity, I'm sure, at some point. This kid works extremely hard. He's a good running back. Just doesn't have the pop or the burst that the other guys do, but he's got more heart and more work ethic than just about anybody else on this team.
6'1", 210, a junior from Frederick, Maryland, getting the call on that carry. 1st and 10, ball just shy of the 45-yard line. Again, the give to Riddle. Off right tackle. He's stopped at the line of scrimmage.
The name of his high school still gives me horror stories. Ligonor. Gosh, they used to beat us down.
Really?
Oh, they would beat us down.
Now, this is obviously the exclamation point of the sentence that is spring practice.
Coaches on the red team right now jumping up and down, but you look at coaches on the white team, and they're way up in the grill of those defensive backs on the white team trying to.
Second touchdown catch of the day for Leak. Adam Green in to attempt the point after.
You don't want to blow assignment in the spring game.
No.
It's a long summer, and those Franks and beans are not tasty.
Franks and beans are actually not that bad.
Yeah.
Oh, when the other guy's eating steak and lobster, and he's sitting right next to you.
And I think the steak needs to be, put in perspective. We're not talking Ruth Chris here.
Yes.
Flank, right?
Right.
It's dining hall. But when you're 20 years old, it may as well be.
Yeah, maybe.
Steak when you're 20, right?
Yeah. Favorite cut, gentlemen? New York strip, ribeye, filet?
I'm a New York strip guy.
I'll go filet.
Love me the strip. It has just enough flavor.
It's the best flavor.
Yeah, but it's not
Little
too
tougher.
fatty. The ribeye is a little too fatty. Extra point is good by Adam Green. He's 2 for 2 on the day. 2 touchdown passes from Perry Hills to Marcus Leak, the leader in the clubhouse for the, I guess, the Spring King. Do they give that anymore?
No,
Here?
but
I don't think they do.
we can go ahead and give it to
They
them.
do
There
the
you go.
spring, it's
We'll
like
keep
the
tabs.
harvest dance. You get
Yeah.
something along those lines.
Spring chicken.
14, yes. You don't want to be the spring chicken. 14-3, 10:08 to play in the first half. You are listening and watching to BTN to go. Dave Preston at the 50-yard line with Tim Strachan and Steve Suter. It is the spring game, the red-white game, as this is it's the end of the school year, but it's actually kind of, I guess, the beginning of 2015. Maryland's home opener and season opener, September 5th against Richmond. They also have September games at Byrd Stadium against Bowling Green and South Florida. First down.
Hey, Steve, let's talk about Marcus Leak for a second. Now, he's obviously right now probably the best player out there on the field, considering he's got 2 touchdowns, very impressive touchdowns. Here's a guy who played early in his career, had some personal issues he needed to work out, left the program for an entire year, comes back last year, got some opportunities, wasn't very consistent, but then after that, he was able to, finish out the year. But the coaches want to see that consistency. I'm seeing consistency today.
Absolutely. And one thing else you're seeing, I don't want to say this the wrong way because I don't want to call it a blessing, and I don't want to assume that a lot of the guys down here take for granted what they're doing and take for granted playing football, but it was taken away from him.
Yep.
When you have it taken away from you for that long, I can only imagine how much he missed it, how much desire built up in him to want to get back to work even harder than before, realizing that he wasn't working as hard as he should have been when he thought he was. Because a lot of people in the program, you think you're working hard, you think you're lifting and studying and doing what you're supposed to do.
Pass complete on 3rd and 5 from the 35-yard line. Juwan Winfrey with the catch. First down, white team.
But I think a lot of the product of what Leak's doing now is that he saw how much football meant to him and he felt how much it meant to him. And he's putting it all on the line here because he realized it can be taken away and he doesn't want that to happen again. And
I think he also realizes there's guys like Juwan Winfree who are right behind him, who have extremely good talent, making big plays like that. You got to stay on top of your game.
1st and 10 inside the 40-yard line for the white team as they're on the red team's half of the field. Handoff on 1st and 10. Jaquil Vey, the Swiss Army knife, gets stopped after a short gain on the near sideline. Here's a guy who you mentioned, yes, they moved him to wide receiver last year. He made a lot of plays out of the backfield, in the backfield. You almost wish that there could be 2 of them because you could use Jaquil Vey, the running back, on the same play that you could use Vey as the wide receiver.
Coach will take 11 of them if he could, because he's another young man that, just gives everything he does to this game.
Second and 8, passes tipped.
Ngakwe.
He's trying to, he's always trying to get better. He's the last guy off the field every single practice. He's always doing a little bit of extra work off the pitching machine. Steve, he's always taking 10, 15 more catches after practice. He's asking questions to Coach McCardell, constantly. Coach McCardell says, I love it, because he's always trying to find something new. He's trying to learn something new. And I think I love the Swiss Army knife comparison. I think it's a great nickname for him. Because
I'm going to use it until it's no longer.
Go ahead.
We're gonna.
He can be used anywhere, and the fact that he can run the ball, but then also be in the backfield and then catch it. He's just a great weapon.
Cockerell has time now, pressured, scrambles to his left side. Cockerell looking deep, looking for somebody. Down the field, pass is incomplete.
Jaquil Vay's most deadly weapon is the one I love. He can go to the house from the 2 to the 50 to the 40. He's got the speed.
Yep.
If I was building a team, I've always said every time if I'm going to turn around and hand the ball to somebody, I want that somebody to be somebody that can go to the house at any given time, and he's got the speed to outrun any secondary.
And I thought it was interesting in the paper the other day. I read a story. A coach was talking about Jaquil Vay, saying Jaquil's got to learn that he doesn't have to take it to the house every time.
Right.
I think Jaquil feels like he's got the ability to take it to the house every single play, but he's got to also learn sometimes getting 5 yards on a 2nd and 4 is just as good as running it into the end zone every single time. So he's got to learn the mental aspect of that game.
High arching punt by Nicholas Pritchard. Dies at the 11-yard line. A fair catch by William Likely. One of my favorite phrases, Will Likely. Yes, Will is likely to score more often than not. There was a running back at Texas in the late 80s named Butch Hadnot. So Butch Hadnot scored a touchdown. No, he actually did.
Will Likely. I mean, this young man.
He's got to be
so
everybody's favorite Terp.
He's so much fun to watch.
Affects the game in so many ways.
Yes, and he's another kid that just devotes himself so much to the game, and not just on the field but off the field, learning, getting in the film room, and last year he had a couple interceptions. One in particular that was all film study. It had nothing to do with his physical ability. He knew it before the quarterback even let the ball go. I think it was in the Iowa game. He knew that ball was going there when it was going there, and he jumps in front of it. That's great preparation.
Twin tight end set, backs in the I formation, play action fake, deep pass to the 45-yard line, and there's a flag, perhaps pass interference against the white team.
That was into the wind. I'll give Perry the benefit of the doubt there.
Daniel has a
You're too nice.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
That's a strong wind.
That's why you got to get a spiral on the ball. Let it cut through that wind,
tight.
man. Can't have any excuses.
That was a tough throw.
But he was all over him. Pass interference, so an automatic first down for the red team. Perry Hills running the offense.
Great play action by Perry Hills, too.
Backed up, took a shot.
Ball will be spotted at the 28-yard line after the 15-yard penalty. Hills now in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. 2 backs in the backfield. The give is to Albert Reed, off right tackle. Has the first down and more. Past the 40, down to the 45-yard line, near the 50.
Man, I like the way Albert Reed's running the ball today so far. Only 7:52 left to go in the second quarter, but he's had plenty of opportunities. He's picked up pretty good yardage on just about all of his carries today, and he's got good vision. Once he kind of gets through that first level, he's got great vision on that second level and knows how to use his blockers and set up defenders to go one way and then get them turned around to pick up that extra yardage.
Red team with the ball at their own 48-yard line and a 14-3 lead. The give again. Reed, right side. Past the 45-yard line down to the 44. It'll be close to the first down marker.
Tim, you were talking about the running backs earlier and pointing out Wes Brown as being probably your top pick as far as skills go, and I would totally agree that I think he's the most dynamic of the running backs by committee, but I feel like towards the end of the season, I'm sure you would think it came down to who's going to hold on the ball for me.
Yeah.
So in the spring here, I would imagine ball security played a big part in all these running backs because
Brandon Ross had a little bit of a problem with that in a few games, and it got him taken out of a game.
Less than ideal spot at 2nd and 3. The give again, this time off left tackle. Short gain.
Reed and West, they put the ball on the ground more than they'd 1-2-2 last year. So
Yep.
I can only picture myself being in Loxley's shoes at some point when whoever they put in there put the ball on the ground every other play. It was frustrating to see who was going to.
I just think that Wes Brown, I mean, they're all pretty much similar.
When he hits a defender, it just looks different.
Yes.
Doesn't it?
It was in the USF game last year. He had one of the most unbelievable pop and spin moves I've ever seen in my entire life. It made the entire stadium go, whoa.
Yeah.
He's got that extra thing,
Yep.
I think, out of the three. They're all pretty much the same, but he does have that potential to really kind of have some specialness to him.
They give to Reed on 3rd and short. Close to the marker.
And it does happen to a defender when they see a running back come at them that's already given them a shot. They don't come as hard as they did last time, and that would be the Wes Brown. And it just seems like he's denser than the other guys.
Well, I think he's got a different mentality.
Yeah.
You know, he's the kind of guy that's going to smack you in the mouth a little bit. He's a little nasty when he gets on a football field.
Yep.
And you don't want to have, bad kids. He's not a bad kid at all.
No.
But he's got a little bit of an edge to him. So when he gets inside those lines, he's not somebody you want to mess with.
Yeah.
And he'll bring a blow.
Timeout on the field. Twin tight end set on 4th and 1. The red team definitely getting some yardage on the ground this half, especially on that drive. Albert Reed looking really good. Joe Riddle's had some carries as well this afternoon.
The audience might be wondering why the offenses are going forward on 4th down as much as they are, but they're not doing special teams in this game. So it's not live, at least. They're not doing live special teams. They will punt,
Extra
they're just not
points
go
are always nice.
Extra points are live, but they're not going to do that. So might as well go for it. See what happens.
These are critical plays in the season.
Yes,
you're going to come down to a 4th and 1.
You put them on film. You got to find out who's going to be the guys that are step up. You can count on in those situations when the time comes in the fall that you have to go for it on 4th down. We saw that a couple times this past year. Went for it on 4th down in the Rutgers game, I believe, and didn't get it. And that was one of the nails in the coffin in that game. And there was a lot of nails in the coffin in that game, but that was definitely one of them. And
a lot of nails, a lot of coffins.
Yeah.
It
felt like they were all hitting me too.
It was a tough way to finish what was really a great first season in the Big Ten. I don't think anybody thought this team would go 7-5.
I thought they were going to go better.
The league.
Actually, I thought they could have done better. And you can make a big argument that they could have, should have, would have won the West Virginia game and that debacle of the Rutgers game, letting it get out of hand.
4th and 1, play action fake, pass is complete, 1st down, red team. How about that? How do you like them apples? Is that Marcus Leak down there?
Sure was.
How about that?
There goes the consistency again. Good play call. I don't know who's calling the plays for the red team. We got it here somewhere, but it's a 4th and 1. It's a 4th and 1 play. They go with the play action and let Marcus Leak just leak out. How about that? Marcus Leak out.
Whoa. Write that down for this fall.
Behind the defense, and good little pitch and catch for a 1st down.
Ball spotted at the 24-yard line, far hash mark. The give is to Reed on 1st down, off right tackle. Short gain, if any. Now this I guess, for the white team, defensively, you got a lot of the twos. You got a lot of guys who are trying to work their way up the depth chart. What are you looking for from what they can do this afternoon?
Well, from a fan's perspective, you're just looking for them to make big enough plays that you're going to go, who's that kid?
Yeah.
Okay? For the coaches, they obviously know who these kids are. They're looking for the kids that are going to use the right technique, who are going to play fast and with the right technique. It's very nuanced from a coach's standpoint, and that's why spring game's so important, because they want to find the kids that are really paying attention, learning the techniques and playing fast while doing the same things that they've been teaching them.
Shotgun snap on 2nd down. Pass is tipped, and could it be intercepted by Milan College? They're going to say it's incomplete. Flag on the play as well. Hill's kind of slow getting up, shaking off his left foot there. Red team with a 14-3 lead, 4:09 to play in the 1st half. Couple touchdown passes from Perry Hills to Marcus Leak. The difference here.
Hills has looked good from a Reed's perspective.
10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Jawan Delaney.
From a read perspective, Hills has looked good. He's made the right reads. He's going through his progressions. I mean, right there, his tight end was open right over the ball. He turned around, hit him for a 5-yard curl, but fortunately he dropped the pass. But it's, again, the right read by Perry.
Perry looks to me like a Sean Hill in the NFL, a career backup guy, because Sean Hill doesn't need all the reps. He's a smart football player, and he's somebody that the coaches are comfortable with when he has to go into a game. I don't know if Perry Hills is your starter type of guy, but he's definitely a guy that if you need somebody to go in there and not make mistakes and help move the offense, at a good pace and do the right things, he's the guy that can do it, and he's showing that right now.
Shotgun snap, second and long pass is incomplete into the end zone. It almost went off the back of the numbers, a lane there. He was turned around a little bit, turned the wrong way. Incomplete. That brings up third and long.
And that's what I was just talking about. That's the difference between a starter and a backup. A guy who's not going to throw a deep ball behind the guy when he's got all this green in front of him. You got to know where to put the ball, let your receiver run under it and adjust. Lane had to adjust around.
Oh, there's wind.
Did I say wind there, too?
Whip. Oh, my.
You and the wind, man. I thought you were a tough football player, man.
I've gotten softer since I got older because I see how these kids are, and I know what it's like to be down there.
You gotten soft as you've gotten older. It's that daughter, man. It's having a daughter. That's made you soft.
Two daughters.
God.
Third and long. Here's Hills. Pass to the near side. Complete.
I got 2 daughters, too.
Yeah.
They've softened me up a little bit.
As they should. As they should.
You've always had a certain charm about you. I mean, let's be honest here. Fourth and long coming up for the red team here as they move from right to left from our perspective here at Capital One Bank Field at Bird Stadium. You're watching BTN to go. Dave Preston at the 50-yard line with Steve Suter, Tim Strachan. Looking forward to an exciting 2015. We got to wait a couple months before Richmond comes to town, sadly.
Too long.
Yeah.
Too long. For real football people, there's only 2 seasons. There's the regular season and then there's spring ball.
And then there's recruiting. 3 wide out split to the far side on fourth down. Here's Hills. Fires towards the end zone and caught in the end zone. It's Leak again.
Oh.
How about that? 3rd touchdown of the day. It's the Marcus Leak Show, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's break that play down. Okay, so Perry Hills drops back. He's looking to his right. He's got great protection. Very good job by the offensive line, giving him the time. But then he gets flushed out to his left. He sees Marcus Leak battling with a smaller, weaker cornerback, and he just throws it up and gives his guy an opportunity to make the play. Man, his strength and his consistency right now is incredible so far in this spring game, Marcus Leak.
Leak with 3 touchdown catches today. He had 3 all last season, over 20 catches. Green in to attempt the point after.
And it goes to what you're saying about Perry. He's like an all-B guy. There's B's all down the list. You're not going to see any A's. He's not going to wow us with any throws, but there it's 4th and 13. They try to run a double move to the field with Lane in the slot. Obviously, the defense doesn't bite because it's an obvious situation. So what does he do? He says, well, it's 4th down. We're losing the ball anyway. Let me throw it up to my playmaker over here that's one-on-one. It's a smart play. He puts the ball in position for Leak, and he comes out and makes a play. That guy's –
Well, and the other thing he's got to know, and this is what he did, his wide receivers, Marcus Leak, he's a scholarship player too.
Exactly.
You
Let's
know,
go make
I mean, he's got to go make. He's making his money just like Perry Hills is. Not that's metaphor.
Yes.
Obviously, we're not paying these guys.
Right.
But Peyton Manning actually.
lobster.
That was
Yes.
that was a lesson that Peyton Manning told Scott McBrien when we were at like an awards night one time. He just asked Scott what he was doing. Scott was in camp at Green Bay, and like, without even asking a question, Peyton Manning goes, well, I'll tell you what, when you got 4 guys going long and you got cover 4, those guys are making money too. You just got to rely on them. They're professionals. Let them make the play. Have confidence in them. He just dove into this diatribe. It was unbelievable the way that he did it. But we all knew what he was talking about.
First down pass incomplete by Cockrell. 21-3, the red team leads. 3 touchdown passes from Perry Hills to Marcus Leak.
Can those guys get 2 steaks?
Oh, you know what? I hate if they continue.
Maybe if you have a
this
shellfish
afternoon.
allergy, they let you have
They
2
might
steaks
get-
instead of
They should get
a
their
lobster.
choice.
But Kobe beef, they might get Kobe lobster.
Yeah,
lobster
yeah.
that's fed by Kobe beef. Second and long, handoff up the middle. Red team with the defensive stop. Yannick Ngakoue, we've seen him make a lot of plays today. 81 tackles last year, 6 sacks, a forced fumble, 2 hurries. Where can he go from there? Because he's already had a pretty good career so far. What are you going to be looking for from him this year, gentlemen?
I don't see a ceiling right now. I don't think the ceiling's even in sight. As good as he played last year, he can be so much better, and I think the coaches see that in practice. It's just a matter of him taking it from the practice field and applying it to a game. I think he can be a dominant player.
3rd and 6, pass complete. Oh, he drops it. Wow. Brandon Ross had the ball, turned upfield, lost the ball just before the 40-yard line. He was close to the marker. Unfortunately, by dropping the pass, it's incomplete, and it didn't matter whether or not he was close to the marker or not.
I know it's hard to do a spring game, David. That was actually David Hayward, tight end.
My.
It's hard to do it because they don't really we don't have
That's
what
48
we normally
instead of
have for a
45.
game. Yeah, but Derek Hayward, a kid that, again, there was an article on him in the paper about a week ago. The coach is really high on him. He's got great body. Great body. He was a defensive guy when he got here. They switched him over to the offensive side of the ball, and they're looking to see if he can't step up, because the tight end is a position that really has been non-existent in terms of the passing game the last couple of years for Maryland.
Non-existent.
It's time to get somebody in there that can be a consistent, reliable guy in the passing game that can also block. And Derek Hayward's got the body type and the ability to do it. It's just putting it all together, and he's starting to do that this spring. But again, consistency, something we hear a lot come out of the mouth of Coach Randy Edsall.
Joey Hanos, where have you gone?
Vernon Davis.
Another
Yeah.
great story.
First and 10 for the red team. They've got the ball at their own 26-yard line. It's been a dominant day for the red team so far today. 21-3 with just over 2 minutes to play in the first half. Hills again in the shotgun. He has 3 touchdown passes so far today. Pass complete to the near side to Lane. It's close to the first down marker at the 34-yard line, depending on the spot. Second and short coming up for the red team.
Brock Dean, linebacker for the white team, delivering a huge blow on that tackle. That kid's a very physical young man.
How about that?
Second down. Pass is complete. Guess who? Marcus Leak. First down.
Look at this.
40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Fighting through 2 more tackles down to the 15.
That's his only mistake.
Somebody wants an extra steak.
Yes, he does.
I
That's
mean,
his only mistake of
goodness
the day. He should have kept
gracious.
going to the pylon there, but they set that play up. The play prior, they both ran. It was a cover 2 shell. Marcus Leak release outside on the sideline. He drags the corner outside, and inside, DeAndre Lane's run a little hook pass. Perios hits him. They ran the exact play, and going back to Tim's point of throwing that dart right in between.
It's
the
an over-under
cover 2.
read. It's an over-under read on the sidelines there.
First and 10 from the 15. Far hash mark. Pass complete again. Knocked out of bounds is Leak near the 10-yard line.
So they run the same exact play, and he throws the dart into the cover 2 hole right there. Marcus Leak does the rest, man.
He almost did it all. I mean,
Yeah.
he cut across the grain. He gets across everybody, starts heading, and then for some reason he turns it
I
upfield
think he
right
got
into
tired.
the. He might have got tired.
That's a classic.
He might not have relied on his speed either.
That-
Marcus
yeah.
Leak's not a burner. He's a big, strong kid with pretty good hands, but he's going to look at that and go, "I should have kept going to the right."
He's out of the game right now, so he definitely needs a breather.
Second and short out of the gun. Hills. Pass to the end zone. Contact in the end zone. No flag. Incomplete pass. 25 seconds to play in the first half. Red team all over the white team. 21-3. 3 touchdown passes from Perry Hills to Marcus Leak. The highlights of the afternoon. We also had an interception earlier today.
Antoine Carter.
Nice pick right there.
Yeah, the red team right now definitely in the driver's seat. 21-3. 25 seconds left in the second quarter. That white team's got to start getting together a little bit.
How do you see that? Would you say the white team's our one's defense is just that much better than the one's offense, or is our one offense just not performing well?
I don't know if they're all ones on the red defense, but for sure
They're getting the
Hand
best.
off
they're
to
getting the
Riddle.
better of them.
Stop at the line of scrimmage. Under 20 seconds to play as the clock winds down in the first half. 15 seconds, they take a timeout. Third down coming up.
Here's just another situation where, as a coach, you're looking at them. Are the guys in the right frame of mind? Do they understand the situation? Do they understand the clock? 15.8 seconds left. The down and distance. How many timeouts do you have? I mean, all those things play a factor in terms of what coaches are trying to evaluate, because really it just comes down to, are the coaches going to be comfortable putting you in a game when it really counts? That's what you're trying to prove out here on the field. So, all this, situational stuff, is Perry making the right calls? Is he throwing a ball where only his guy can get it? And if it doesn't, it's an incomplete pass instead of trying to take some sort of shot where it's going to get intercepted or something like that. You got to know, got to play smart. Those types of things that coaches are looking for all the time.
Some guys are great in drills, some guys are great in practice, others are great in game situations. This gives the coaches, maybe a guy's not the best practice player, but for whatever reason, he just seems to perk up a little more on game day.
That's a great point, and I played with guys that fit that bill to a T.
Who?
And I don't want to call. I'm not going to say any names, but you couldn't fault the coaches for putting them in on game day because in practice it was everything right, lights out, we're making plays, and then when the lights come on, some people fade away.
Third down, here's Perry Hills behind center, one back in the backfield. Hills now rolls to his right, to the 5, out of bounds.
Well, not a bad play. He could have given it up.
He
if he
had
had given
Lane
up
there.
early, he could have got. He had Deion Lane and a little leak pattern to the sidelines. He could have given it up, but again, smart play. Don't do anything that maybe could put your team in a bad position. Keep the ball. Don't do anything. Don't turn it over. Know that you still have 9 seconds on the clock. He gets out of bounds and stops the clock. Give your team another chance.
Quarterback can't necessarily win every game, but he can definitely lose some games. And that Joe Theismann said that way back when, and he kept on saying it all of his years as a broadcaster. And yes, you can make the winning play, but you'd rather not make the play that costs your team points, because even though you're up 21-3, there's a whole other half to play.
I've even said, as a former quarterback, I've said you don't need to have a great quarterback who's going to make these spectacular plays all the time. You definitely need a quarterback who's not going to make the dumb mistakes. A guy that can manage the game, make the smart decisions. Really, not enough emphasis is put on the leadership aspect of a quarterback. Is he a guy that the other guys are going to rally behind? Now, is it great to have a quarterback who's dynamic and make huge plays and actually win a game for you? Yes, but it's not a necessary thing. It's just a guy who can manage a game and do the right things.
Sometimes I feel like it takes more moxie to not take the shot.
Second down facing the red team. 9 seconds to play in the first half. Back to throw Hills. Pass to the end zone to Leak. In and out of his hands, incomplete.
Still, put the ball where only Leak could get it. Leak wasn't able to come up with it, but you still got 4.4 seconds left. Put a little bit more points on the board. Adam Green coming in for the field goal.
I would have liked to see him run a 2-point play there. I mean, you're basically in a 2-point conversion situation there. I would assume in a game-time situation that wouldn't be their 2-point play. This would be a good time to work on that.
I think they tried to run that the last play. That was the motion
the leak out.
With the motion and getting Deion Lane in that flat. You don't like the fade because you're 5'5". No one ever threw you a fade in the corner.
I was under. Oh, nice block.
Extra point attempt is blocked. Solid special teams play by the white team. Tapped around. Who's got it? Finally picked up by the red team. Thought Garo Yepremian was going to be out there for a second, batting the ball around. Instead, the first half ends basically without incident. A missed field goal at basically blocked at the line of scrimmage.
That was Mr. Carter, so he's got a pick, and now he's got a field goal block.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, and those things, that's big.
Yeah.
I mean, because coaches note that. They know that what kids are making the plays, what kids are stepping up to the plate. Because if you're making them in this game, you're likely to make them in the games that count. So
if you're not making them in this game, there's no
you're not going to get an
whatsoever.
opportunity. No.
Yes, exactly. Our score at the half, the red team leads the white team 21-3. This is the University of Maryland spring game at Capital One Bank Field at Byrd Stadium. This is BTN to go. Dave Preston at the 50-yard line with Tim Strachan, Steve Suter. We will be back for the second half on BTN to go.
Maryland Athletics would like to thank the following corporate partners for their generous support. Capital One Bank, Toyota, University of Maryland Medical System, Subway, Under Armour, Advance, Muscle Milk, College Park Car Wash, Papa, Ollie's Bargain Outlet, and Buffalo Wild Wings. All right, fans, at this time, please direct your attention to the west end over here. That's where we have a great opportunity to win some big stuff today. I'm Joel Neesmith, so excited to have Kevin Sullivan here with us today. Punt, pass, and kick all the way up the field. And if you can do it, $250 part here. We're going with the wind, and we're going to go with the roll. So let's get real good fun here. Make some noise for Kevin. He's got his kids here too. Let's win something good today. All right, come on. Get that roll. Okay, let's move it up. All right, with the roll, we're at 34. That's not too bad. Give us a good throw here with the wind. And release it by the time he gets to me. Okay. Move it on up. Looks like we gave him the roll again. This is a doable 25-yard field goal. Fans, is there a chance here? Can he do this? $250 of Under Armour gear on the line. Your kids look like they got some Under Armour now. They go there with that? Keep some of it if you win, but let's work on this now. Are you going to go soccer style or straight on? Straight on, old school. All right, he's old school. We can be old school too. Let's make some noise for him. This is Kevin Sullivan going for $250 of Under Armour gear. But he had to just a good showing. He got all the way down here, folks. Let's hear for him. All the way down the field, a little bit wide left. Congratulations on getting this far. I think we'll see you in the stands, all right? He's a good guy.
Red team leads the white team. Maryland football spring game here on BTN to go at Capital One Bank Field at Byrd Stadium. Dave Preston at the 50-yard line with Tim Strack and Steve Suter. I guess what steak and lobster are up for grabs, and none of us are in the mix for this. No, our invitations did not arrive.
No, but we can come over to your house and you can make us steaks and lobster.
Yes, I can. Yeah.
I heard you're a good cook.
It's going to be from a microwave bag. So it's going to have it's going to look like a lobster.
Well, let's see if the white team had a little bit of talk to themselves in the locker room and get back into this game.
Red team with the football to start the second half. The give on 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line.
And I was just telling Tim, my wife's been out a couple days with the kids, so it's been all cereal and whatever I can heat up in the microwave.
Any of you guys have Raisin Bran Crunch?
That's
that
very
is delicious.
Good cereal.
Ruined me for the normal Raisin Bran.
That is a very good cereal.
You can't cook, huh, Steve?
There was no point. I'm lazy when it comes to that.
He chooses
what's the
not
fastest?
to. Second down for the red team, second and long. Far hash mark in the shotgun. Perry Hills again. He has 3 touchdown passes today. Pass complete to Lane, who's dropped immediately behind the 30-yard line.
Antoine Carter on the white team. DB has another good stop right there, fighting through the initial block on the wide receiver bubble screen. Makes a great play.
Third and long, facing the red team. How intense do the locker rooms at halftime get during the spring game? Because it's the spring game, but it's still a game.
Yeah, and you're going against your own teammates. Unless you had some interpersonal
bragging rights.
Well, yeah, there's some bragging rights. I would imagine that locker room was pretty calm.
Third and long, back to pass Hills. Pressured, unloads downfield, whistle, flag.
You're focusing more on your job and your responsibility. I mean, we're joking about the steak and lobster, but it's really nothing that important on the line from a team standpoint.
They give him a sack. They give a sack to the white team there.
Maybe my competitive edge is a little bit more than yours.
It might be.
I don't want anybody to beat me in nothing. I mean, if you and I were playing chess right now, I'd be cutthroat.
Fourth and long into punt, Lee Schrader. When you move that horse.
Yeah.
Or knight. Yeah, we know chess a little.
I bet the coaches, though, probably did want to see from Shane Cockrell.
Yeah,
Does he go into the locker room? Does he go in the locker room? Does he kind of, speak up a little bit and take a leadership role and say, hey, guys, I got to play better. You got to play better. I mean, that's also some stuff that the coaches are looking for.
Punt by Schrader, fielded at the 35-yard line.
Let's see what he can do.
White team with decent field position. Cockrell didn't have a stellar first half. Did lead the white team on a field goal drive.
He's got confidence in himself. There's no doubt about that. He's not lacking confidence in himself. It's just, you know, transferring it to the field, to the actual play, the speed of the game. Hopefully the second half is a little bit different for him, starting right now.
Jaquil Vea in the backfield. Cockrell over center. 1st and 10 from the 35. The give to Vea. Straight up the middle, spins. Stopped near the 38-yard line, 2nd and long.
I like Jaquil. We keep talking about the dynamic he brings to an offense. I like the fact he's back in the backfield because then I love the diamond formation last year when they had, you know, him behind 2 blockers and you didn't know whether they're going to give it or throw it or.
The give again to Vea, close to the 1st down marker near the 44-yard line. Going to be 3rd and short, barring a very generous spot there.
Getting a visit from Barry Gossett, one of the biggest supporters of this program, probably the biggest supporter of this program. Great to see you here. And he lost weight. You're looking good.
He looks fit and trim. 21-3, the red team leads. White team on the move. Backs in the I formation, facing short yardage, straight up the middle.
Gone.
Ross has the 1st down and more. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Brandon Ross like a bullet coming out of the gun.
Great job by the white team. Good, huge hole by the white offensive lineman.
Damian Prince.
He just busts right through, never has to break stride, never gets a hand on him, and he's off to the races. So it's good speed to the end zone.
Looked like a 56-yarder. That if our math proves correct, 56-yard
I'll leave the math
scamper.
to you.
Yeah.
I'm a lawyer. I don't do math.
Carry the 1.
I'll argue why 1 and
Yes.
1 equals 3, but
I actually had a friend who once said that 7 should be an even number. You take off the S, it's even.
You know what 33% is, though, right, Tim?
yes, I do.
Free throw up, or the extra point up and good. With 11:25 to play in the 3rd quarter, the red team leads the white 21-10 as the white team comes out on their first possession of the second half with a scoring drive, a touchdown scamper by Brandon Ross. He averaged almost 5 yards a carry last season, scored 4 touchdowns. He did lose the ball a couple of times late in the year. I don't know how it's something that I don't know how you cure that, but if he can get rid of that, he'll be a dynamic player this fall.
You can cure it a couple ways. One, as a coach, you can take him out and tell him
Yes.
you're not going back in until I trust you. Secondly, as a player, you can sleep with a football, carry it everywhere you go, take it to class. That ball has to become a part of your body. Brandon Ross really in the beginning of the year showed flashes of greatness, to be honest with you. And then right at the midpoint in the rest of the season, that's where the inconsistency came in. And again, there's that word, consistency. I think Brandon Ross is one of those guys that needs to become more consistent on a daily basis if he wants to stay involved in this offense.
5-yard gain on 1st down. Joe Riddle off right tackle. 2nd and 5 coming up for the red team.
One thing I always see, when a guy fumbles, then you see him fumble some more, it's because he gets labeled a fumbler, and the defense then takes on a totally different mindset. They're
And
not
he's
just
also
trying
thinking
to,
about it.
Well, but the defense isn't just trying to tackle you.
Yep.
Now the defense knows you're a guy that can put the ball on the ground, so when they come to tackle you, they're also trying to strip the ball. So once you're a fumbler, you're labeled a fumbler, and it really just is kind of a snowball effect, and it's very hard to, bring that back.
Riddle up the middle on 2nd down. 10.5 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. The red team with a 21-10 lead over the white. 3 touchdown passes from Perry Hills to Marcus Leak, the difference today.
Let's give Damian Prince, the young lineman on the white team, part of that line right there that sprung Brandon Ross. He is a highly touted recruit. He's getting some burn now here in the spring, and he was part of that big hole where, hey, if you can get your running back not touched for a scamper for a touchdown, then you're doing your job.
Flag thrown as they get to the line of scrimmage. Now with offensive linemen, whereas backs and receivers are more like you can microwave a back or a receiver. With an offensive or defensive lineman, you really have to slow cook. You almost throw them in the crock pot in order to get them from high school to the D1 level. That's the challenge this program faces. They know they need to get bigger, but they can't get bigger quicker. They got to really, work these guys in.
Well, at the D1 level, you can have a wide receiver, maybe even a running back, sometimes a quarterback, because at the skill positions you can play right away. It's almost impossible to do as a lineman. You're not big enough, you're not strong enough, you don't have the right technique. It does take a little bit of time to get those guys to where they need to be. And I think, as you were saying, Damian Prince, Mike Minter, Derwin Gray, those are guys that were huge recruits last year. They weren't ready. They're going to be ready, but they weren't ready last year. I think that they're getting there now. Coaches have been pretty pleased with the way they're doing, but again, consistency is something that they're looking at of these young players, and until they get that consistency, they won't get the opportunity to play in the fall.
Incomplete pass on 3rd and 5, a second straight stop by the white team on defense. They have a cast of thousands. I think, 10 defensive backs on the roster. Somebody's got to make a play. They've been making plays the last 2 possessions.
They have. To go back to that offensive lineman, I think the biggest hurdle is mentally.
Mm-hmm.
It is, I think, without a doubt, next to the quarterback, the hardest position to play mentally from a mental standpoint is offensive line. So to come in as a freshman where you're just basically pointing and blocking, I got this guy on this play, I got this guy, whoever's in front of me, and just, Damian Prince just manhandling the ends. It's not that cookie cutter now in college. You got all kinds of defensive fronts at every given time that your blocking scheme could change from the same play versus a different look. And that's where a lot of times you see guys come free and just hit quarterbacks that are untouched. You're like, how'd that happen? Well, a missed assignment up front.
White team with the ball on their own 32-yard line. Cockrell, shotgun snap, pass, complete. Short side to Comer. Stopped at the 35-yard line. What have you seen from Cockrell so far today?
Well, I think he's gotten flushed out a little bit. He's not really put the ball on the mark, but, overall he just hasn't moved his team. The first touchdown being the last series, and it ended on a 56-yard 4th and 1 play. I just like to see him sort of command the offense a little bit better. Again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but consistency, that's what you're looking for from all these guys, and especially the quarterback position. 2nd
and 3 from the 39, the give to Vay. Right side, past the 40 to the 41, 42-yard line. He should have the first down. Jaquil Vay has made his impact in the backfield today. Last fall, he was moved to wide receiver almost midstream. It was during, I believe, August workouts. It's not the easiest transition during summer practice, but he was able to make it work a little bit today. He's seen the bulk of his action in the backfield. 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. Low shotgun snap. Handoff to Kenneth Goins Jr. straight up the middle. Stopped after a 3 or 4 yard gain.
Love that kid.
There's another kid that's dense.
Love him. Dense. I like that. He's thick.
When you get hit by that guy, you feel it.
But he's a smart football player.
Yeah,
he might be a fullback,
great.
and he might be used as a battering ram most of the time, but he's a smart football player. He's got good hands to catch the ball coming out of the backfield, and he's got the ability to run the ball too. He's so important. And then you look at the USF game last year, he comes up with the big block at the end of the game to give the Maryland ball back.
Cockrell rolling out left, pass almost intercepted. He threw it to double coverage on the run, and the red team almost were able to notch a turnover there.
Steve, was that the wind? Was that the wind again? That looked like it was a kind of a duck.
That was a bad ball.
The wind is whipping. Let the record show.
I wanted to say wind there, but I just couldn't. It was just a bad miss. That miss has to be out of bounds. Your guy or out of bounds.
Yeah, you got to put it where only your guy can get it or nobody else, and that one got hung up a little bit. He left it out there to dry.
3rd and 3 from the 49-yard line for the white team. Handoff to Vay. Off right tackle. Bursts.
Got it.
Falls close to the first down marker. They'll give it to him as they move the chains again.
Edsel gets to make that call. They don't have to measure it.
No.
He's saying.
I was kind of hoping that they'd have the.
Oh no, it's going to be
coaches.
4th down.
Oh,
but he might want it to be.
Do you bring the chain gang on? Do you call a timeout?
No, you just leave it.
Throw the flag.
Just leave it at 4th down and see if your big boys can get a push. That's what he's looking for. He wants to see if the white offensive linemen can get that yard when they need it.
4th and inches, twin tight end set, backs in the I formation. 21-10, the white team trails. 6.5 to play. Handoff up the middle. And depending on where the pile lands here.
That's all Jaquil Vay right there.
Brandon Ross,
45-yard line.
That's why you do squats.
Yeah.
Brandon Ross.
Oh, it's Brandon Ross?
With the carry.
That's why you do squats. That's why you get in the weight room. He had nowhere to go. He was dead to rights as soon as he got the ball, but then he just keeps those legs churning. Great job. Great effort.
Pushing the pile. 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line of the red team. The white team with the football down 21-10. They have the lone touchdown this half. Cockerel's pass tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Now, it's pretty interesting for the running backs, too, because you got a new coach coming in. Terry Richardson is a new running backs coach, so maybe you thought you were the guy. Maybe you thought you're the best running back of the group. Well, that's going to go out the window because I got to imagine Terry's coming in with a clean slate. He doesn't know you from Adam.
No preconceived notion,
Yep.
yeah.
He's going to watch, and you're going to perform in the spring, and he's going to put what he thinks is the best player on the field.
When you have a new position coach come in or a new coordinator on special
Nervous,
teams, what
man.
goes through your mind as a player?
You're nervous. I mean, it goes back to now you're competing all over again, and you can almost think that you've earned it prior, and why do I got to prove myself again? I mean, you can all have all those thoughts, but you better get rid of them.
This running back crew none of them can think that,
Right.
they got it. I mean,
that's true.
nobody's ever really separated themselves, and they can't be comfortable with what they've done in the past. I'm with you, Steve. They've got to prove it to the new guy and to the existing coaching staff that they're the guy that can be the one that does it.
And they've been in a true 4-year battle for playing time.
Yep.
3rd and short after a strong run by Jaquil Vay off left tackle. Again, backs in the I formation, a twin tight end set. Cockerell almost fell down as he took the snap. They'll whistle him down.
And Ngakwe,
He's a menace.
Yannick Ngakwe.
we kind of talked about what he could do to improve, and I wouldn't know from a technique standpoint what he could improve from, but what you can always do when you're a pass rusher, improve your motor. So that's cardio. If he just wants to designate a ton of time to cardio, so he can be on the field every down and rush in 100% every down.
And what I like to see out of an edge rusher like that is your explosiveness off the ball. And I think his first step is pretty impressive as it is right now. Probably could get a little bit better, which is scary considering how good it is already.
Flag on the play. Nicholas Pritchard with the high arching kick. Stopped it around the 20-yard line. We'll see where the bounce takes us. 4:31 to play in the 3rd quarter. The red team leads the white team 21-10. This is the spring game. BTN to go. Dave Preston at the 50-yard line with Tim Strachan, Steve Suter, and Barry Gossett joining us.
Barry's head of security today.
Yes. The associate coordinating.
Formation on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty being forced from the end of the kick. 1st down.
Penalty on the kicking team, a 5-yard penalty enforced after the play. Barry Hills showing us quite a bit today with 3 touchdown passes. Brandon Ross with a 56-yard touchdown scamper for the white team. Marcus Leak, 3 touchdown grabs. 4.5 to play in the 3rd quarter. Red team moving from left to right from our vantage point on the near sideline. Roca in motion. The give to the back, straight up the middle, and he's got some room. Albert Reed stopped at the 35-yard line. 2nd and short coming up.
I'm not saying anything bad about what's happened in the past, but today I really like how these running backs are running downhill, hitting those holes with speed. They're not dancing in the backfield, getting good positive yards.
2nd and short. The give again to Reed, straight up the middle, tacked.
As soon as I say it, he dances in the backfield.
Yeah,
see what happens?
Put the ball on the ground too.
That was not downhill.
I think that was a blown assignment up front, though. He had nowhere to go. Somebody in his face as soon as he got the ball.
Players are scrambling there at the end. I'm afraid he put the ball on the ground too, but I think Red got it back. But that would be something that we talked about earlier. You just can't do. Let's see on the replay here. Yep, ball came out.
Oh, yes. Or oh, no.
Yeah, oh, no.
That is not what you need. 3rd and short. They need to get the ball to the 37-yard line. Back to throw Hills. Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. We've seen a lot of tip passes
that's
at
the second
the line.
one. Yeah, that's
is
the second
that more
one.
of an and on both sides of the field? Is that more of an offensive line, still kind of feeling their way, or is it the
right.
defensive line making a
Well,
great
no,
play?
I think it's the defensive line doing a great job of getting some pressure and being able to get their hands up. Now, what happens is that was Nicholas Pritchard who was on that one, but the linemen have to get their hands in the gut. so that the defensive linemen can't get their hands up. But also as a quarterback, you got to find the throwing lane. You know, you got to be a better athlete than those big uglies up there in front. I mean, you can't let those guys block that ball.
And they punt on 4th down.
Nice kick.
Jaquil Vay all the way back. Maybe he touched the ball, finally picks it up inside his own 5-yard line. Not a special teams highlight right there for the white team, needless to say.
Very nice punt.
He probably should have let it go. I mean, this is your
Yes.
wheelhouse, Steve.
What
I would've
went
caught
wrong?
that.
How do you evaluate that play?
I would have tried to catch it as well. I mean, that was like a 70-yard, but I tried to catch everyone right there. Yeah. I mean,
Something tells me
Yeah.
the special teams coach is telling him something a little different. Let it go. It was inside the 5.
spring game, the guy's trying to make a play. I had to try to make a play too. I feel you, Jaquil.
2:34 to play the 3rd quarter. The red team leads the white team 21-10.
Let's watch
White-
this offensive line push here.
White team backed up inside their own 5-yard line. 1st and
I like
10.
to play action here.
1st and 10 from the 2. Hand off straight up the middle.
I remember the days back in the late 90s against Florida State. Anytime Florida State was within the 5-yard line with their backs against their own end zone, you knew. I mean, they could have come to the line and said, hey, guys, we're throwing it deep.
Yeah.
And they just, because they just relied on their athletes to be better than the other team, no matter who they were playing. It was automatic that they were going to throw it on 1st down coming out.
Twin tight end set again. Backs in the I formation one more time. Man in motion far side. Give off left tackle.
Now this is
Flag
where
down.
there's a flag down.
Ooh.
I was going to say this is where Shane really is going to have the evaluation. All eyes are going to be on him in situations like this.
Third
down, whether or not you can make that play and keep the chains moving and get a big long drive going. He needs a big long drive under his belt. He did get the first, did lead him to a first touchdown in the second half, but again on a 56-yarder.
Right.
On a 4th and 1, so it's
He
not
gets
like it
the
was a sustained
assist,
drive.
or maybe even the second assist if you use the hockey term.
They're definitely being more conservative with him too. We haven't seen a lot of 1st, 2nd down throws.
No,
We're getting run.
not in this
run.
half. No.
No.
That doesn't help. Face
No.
mask against the offense.
Less
Backs them
than
up
ideal.
even more. They're going to be on the, looks like, 2-yard line.
2, yeah.
And we're
Second down
focusing
and 10.
a little on offense, but here'd be a nice spot where I'd like to see your boy Ngakoue make a big play, maybe a safety or something. This has got to be a point on the field where he's sniffing, I'm going to make a big play here.
This is also a big sequence for Shane. This gives the coaches a chance to see how he deals with the adversity.
Yep.
A 2nd and long inside his own 5-yard line. Does he make the right call? Does he make the right decision? Hand off straight up the middle, no gain.
But here's where it really counts. So it's going to be 3rd down at about 7 or 8 with his back to the end zone. Can he get them out of this bind? Because you also have to get the ball out of there so in a real game, your punter's not standing on the end line. So, this is a crucial play, and this is one that's going to be scrutinized for sure for Shane Cockrell.
Brandon Ross in the backfield alongside Cockrell. They'll operate out of the shotgun snap. Ball spotted at the 4-yard line. Under a minute to play in the 3rd quarter. White team trails 21-10. Pass incomplete near side. In and out of the hands of Coleman.
They go with the jailbreak screen. Not in my opinion, not the greatest call right there. I think you got to go downfield. And Steve, we were talking about it at the very beginning. Leak's first touchdown, right across the middle. I love right across the middle. I'd like to see Maryland try to go across the middle a little bit more. That's where all the green is. That's where all the room is. And if you can get a one-on-one matchup or a matchup that you like, take it. But obviously there they felt like the screen was probably the best option. It just didn't work. Backfires on the white team.
Pritchard into punt under the shadows of his own goalposts. Gets off a clean kick. Stops it or dies at around the 35-yard line. Great field position for the red team coming up.
Tim, when I see those screen calls like that on like a long 3rd down or a backed up situation, something about it just makes me think Loxley doesn't trust something.
Right.
I'm not sure what it is. Is it line? He's afraid they're not going to pick up the blitz. Is it the quarterback he doesn't think is going to make the right read, or the running back's not going to pick up the blitz, or whatever the case may be. But I feel like those are bailout plays when he calls them, as far as maybe we can get the first down here, but at worst we're not going to throw a pick six.
Personally, I think it has a lot more to do with the pressure that they're getting, whether they can hold the pressure and protect the quarterback enough to get the ball out for a 3rd and long play. But I agree. Sometimes they're frustrating plays. If they work, everybody's like, oh, all right, that's great. If they don't, it's like, ugh.
But I think the reason that he calls them is just not, she's just not trusting something.
Jailbreak screen, it also puts a lot of guys in that area too. A lot of things can go wrong with more people, in and around the line of scrimmage.
It's a great
more
play.
of a chance for disaster.
It's a great play, but it's so counterintuitive. You're taking a screen and then going back inside where all the defenders are coming from, but you're supposed to rely on your blockers and know that what their assignments are so that it all kind of works out. One of the plays that if it's done right, beautiful.
Yep.
If it's not done right, it is awful.
Right. But usually not disastrous.
No.
You're not going to get a pick six.
Right.
So I feel like he uses it as a safe call.
Fourth quarter about to get underway. 21-10. The red team leads the white team this afternoon. 3 touchdown passes from Perry Hills to Marcus Leak. Red team with the football in white team territory. Perry Hills throws on first down. Pass.
2 hands.
Oh, in and out of the outstretched arms of his receiver. Eric Roca.
There. Will's got to use 2 hands. That's a touchdown.
That's Will Ulmer.
Oh.
Yeah. Will
Came in as a quarterback last year from St. John's College High School here in the district. A very highly touted player. He's such a great athlete, but he's not a pure wide receiver, and he I don't know if he has a luxury to try and go for it from one hand.
Yeah. Now that's an easy 2-hand touchdown.
That would have been a touchdown. He put 2 hands up and catch it.
Ulmer with the drop, 2nd and 10 from the 36-yard line. Hand off, right side.
Red goes on to win this.
Is it Tahuti Miles?
Tahuti Miles.
There's a good name.
There was a guy at Notre Dame back in the day named Hiawatha Francisco.
How about
back in
that?
the 80s.
What's up with you and these names?
You just like them. He wasn't great, but it was a sweet name.
I think it's a little too early in the season for me to try to tackle our boy from Towson High School, the D lineman, number 95. You want to take a shot at that, Tim?
Azabuke Ukandu.
There you go.
Oh.
Well done.
I'm a commentator,
There
man.
you go.
I'm a pro.
3rd down,
Come
Hills
on.
pressured, on the move.
I put
Right
you on the
side,
spot
and they're gonna
early
say
in the
that
spring.
They're going to say Hills was sacked in the pocket, I believe. They whistle him down. So a chance to add points on the scoreboard by the red team. Great field position. The white team defense makes one fantastic stand.
Well, they needed it. It's 13 minutes, 12 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter. They're down 11 points. They needed a stop. Get back in this. They're hungry for some steak and lobster. They got to get back in this game. It's going to be up to Shane right now to get this offense in gear.
Lee Schrader with the punt. Dribbles to the 15, the 10, inside the 10-yard line. Less than
Right
ideal
inside
field
the crease.
position. I know. Can you go inside the crease?
Yes, in football you can
Yes,
go inside
okay.
the crease.
Certain rules, you don't want to.
If you punt the ball inside the crease, it's an extra point. You get it to stay inside that crease.
It's
It's like at Xfinity Center. If
I
you-
think we just established a new rule. I actually like that.
I've always thought that maybe you get an extra point if you can put it through the uprights on kickoff.
Yeah,
I've always thought about that.
that's impressive for sure.
Or if in basketball, if you shoot from the logo, you get a 4th point. If it's from 3-point range.
All right, let's see what Shane can do here. See if he can muster this up and make this a ball game.
Let him throw here on first down.
1st and 10, deep at his own end. One back in the backfield. Cockrell back to throw. Looking for room. Scrambles to his left. Fires. Downfield pass. Oh, intercepted but out of bounds. Would have been a pick.
I got to get rid of that ball a little quicker.
Yeah.
Can't hold on to it and take a sack.
That was
John
a missed
Davis.
assignment. I'm putting that on the receiver there.
I'm putting it on the DB. He should keep his feet in
Well,
bounds on
yeah.
that. No,
but
no,
I mean,
no.
the receiver left Cockrell out to dry there. That's why he was trying to scramble there toward the sidelines and find something there last minute.
Well, as the quarterback critiquer here, I'm going to say he's got to get rid of that ball and just give your team another chance.
Well, yeah, that's a point. See, there was already a mistake. He needs to just erase it
That's
and
right.
just throw it away. Let's not make another mistake on the same play.
2nd and 10 from his own 2-yard line. Give us to the back. Here comes Vay. Angles left side.
And there's the speed.
Yep.
There's the speed that you need. That play really wasn't going anywhere, but he bounces it outside, uses his speed to pick up some good yardage and give the white team a little bit of a cushion. Now it's up to Shane and the offense to pick up a very critical 3rd down here. This is where he's going to be scrutinized most. Can you get it done on 3rd down? That's where Maryland really struggled, especially in the second half of the season last year. 3rd down was a killer.
Ball spotted at the 12-yard line. Shotgun snap almost lost by Cockrell. He runs his way back up to the line of scrimmage. Little or no gain there. 4th down coming up, a punt pending. You talk about Jaquil Vay's catch, or Jaquil Vay being able to use his speed to get outside. That turns potentially a 4th down where they're punting within the shadows of their own goalpost. There's a little bit of a cushion for the punter now. It doesn't count as a 1st down, but it definitely gives the punter a little bit more of a touch of sanity there.
And you saw when he was backed up in the last series on the end zone, he only had what was about a 31-yard punt. Now he's got a little bit of room, see if he can't get a really good foot into it here, and he does not.
Kind of a chip shot.
Good roll, though.
Likely picks it up at his 47-yard line. Great field position coming up for the red team. Red team leads 21-10 with 10:40 to play in the 4th quarter.
Now red team, again, you are playing for something. So now I don't know if they're going to come out throwing. I think the red team's going to come out here and see if they can't do some ball control, keep it out of the hands of the white team, not let them get back into this game.
Is there
have
a
long sustained drive here?
Is there a 10-minute drive in the playbook?
No, there's not.
There is with a running clock.
But I guarantee you in that huddle right now, coach is telling especially the linemen, this is on you guys. This is where you earn your keep. It's all on you to move the chains here, keep the ball on the ground, make some holes, get a good push. Conditioning comes into play now. You got to getting a little tired. You've been playing a full game so far.
Albert
See
Reed,
if you can reach down there. Reach down there and find that character.
little something. Albert Reed gets the call on 1st and 10. Gets to the 49-yard line, just shy of the midfield stripe. Barry Gossett, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.
Always a pleasure.
Mr. Gossett.
Barry, always good to see you. Barry Gossett, namesake of the Gossett Football Team House. Great supporter of the program. Loves to be around the kids. Kids love to be around him. Every program needs somebody like that.
Absolutely.
Reed.
Haven't heard Marcus Leake's name here in a while.
I know, we need a
I
little
don't think
flash.
I don't think we're going to.
I think
we're
he's split to the far
I
side.
think we're going to hear Albert Reed again.
Reed gets the call on 2nd down, stacked up, bursts towards the 50-yard line, stopped at the midfield stripe. Short gain, if any. That'll bring up 3rd down.
And now they may have to put it in the air here.
Marcus Leake with 3 touchdown catches this afternoon. He had 3 last season. And it'll be interesting to see who steps forward this fall and what should be a fun wide receiver group to see who separates themselves, the 1s and the 2s.
Also got to talk about Tavon Jacobs, who is Levern Jacobs' brother. Unfortunately got hurt on his very first pass attempt last year against JMU. He's a kid who's got all kinds of tools.
Hills rolls right on 3rd down. Pass down the field. It's intercepted. Did he get his feet in bounds in time? Yes.
And that's where Perry gets himself in trouble. Perry's not the kind of guy who's going to be able to make that pass. He tried to force it too much. Yeah, essentially it becomes a punt, I guess.
DeAndre Payne with the pick.
I think they waved it off.
Oh.
Said he didn't get
Feet
a foot
didn't
in
stay
bounds,
in
I guess.
The refs, this is spring for them too. It's taking a little longer.
Easy on the stripes, buddy. Easy on the
You
stripes.
can never go easy on the stripes. As an ex-player, they're always wrong.
Unless it's your call.
Unless it's your
it goes,
call.
yeah.
Man, what is that a great call.
So instead of 4th down facing the red team as Lee Schrader into punt again. White team holding on this possession despite decent field position again. Strong punt fielded at the 16.
Little room now for the white team trying to get the ball moving.
8 minutes, 22 seconds left to go in this game. Now here's where coaches are going to, again, keep their eye on Shane Cockrell. Is he going to be able to keep his composure? Is he going to feel the pressure of the fact that he's got to get his team in position to score and then possibly get the ball back to try and do something at the end of this game? This is where the mettle is tested. This is where the coaches are going to be watching how your eyes look. You know, what's the look in the kid's eye? Does he look confident? Does he look scared? Is he going to be able to, show that confidence in his technique and let all those things come together when it really counts?
1st and 10, 2 wideout split to the far side, 1 to the near side. Cockrell throws deep downfield, incomplete over the middle. Pass intended for Jacobs.
It was there, and the ball may have been a little too high now out in front, but I like the shot.
Yep.
I like them taking the shot down the field.
The Maryland band making their presence felt a little bit as well this afternoon.
They're always in mid-season form.
Yes. 2nd down, handoff, draw play by Brandon Ross up the middle, short gain, setting up a 3rd down.
I have to have a little talk with Richmond Sparks, the band director. Short story, we're playing Iowa here. Iowa scores. The band, Maryland band was playing a touch, like a song after Iowa scored. Scott McBride on the sideline makes a little comment. I don't know why our band's scoring, playing when the other team scores.
Right.
Richmond Sparks sends Johnny Holiday an email saying Tim Strachan's got to stop cutting on my band.
Oh, 3rd down pass is complete. 1st down for the white team.
Big play, Laverne Jacobs.
That's what we've been looking for.
Yep.
Now the band should strike it up.
There you go.
Come on, Richmond.
Where are you now? Where's
Richmond,
the pass?
get it going, buddy.
This is Tim Strachan saying that the band needs to be louder.
Come on, man. Seriously.
No, I can't.
You're going to give me more trouble with him, and
No.
I didn't even do it in the first place.
Banned by the band.
Richmond, I love you.
Good ball by Shane there. There was tight coverage on Laverne, dragging across the middle. Put it out in front of him so he didn't have to stop his momentum. He could run after the catch, and Laverne did extend that play with a good yard after catch there, about 30 yards.
That's that middle drag that we like.
Yeah.
Penalty against the Red D, pushes the ball 15 yards ahead.
Might have a ball game here, boys.
Ball spotted at the 12-yard line of the Red team. 1 back in the backfield, 2 wide receivers split to the far side. Cockrell over center. 1st and 10. They trail by 11. Handoff. There's a flag. Ross stacked up at the line of scrimmage, but there's a flag on the play. 6:06 to play in the 4th quarter. Red team leading 21-10.
You can hear that wind.
Defense, number 90. That's misses the goal. 1st down.
Roman
at the
Braglio with the personal foul.
You were giving me about the win. See there?
Well,
Now I can hear it.
I guess
Shouldn't
the wind
affect
is
the
kinda
play.
up
I'm just
there.
saying. Now you can hear it.
Look at those flags blowing.
Ball spotted in the inside the 10, 1st and goal. Ball spotted at the 7. The handoff. Bay. Stopped.
White team's got to be careful. They got to have some clock management
Yeah,
here.
because it is a running
I
clock.
think they got to go. They got to start going to the air here.
Goins checks in as Jaquil Vay takes a seat.
Need to have a little bit more urgency too.
The clock becoming as much of a friend of the Red team as the scoreboard is right now.
I like the body language right now, Shane. Looks like he's in complete control.
Handoff to Goins. Straight up the middle. Churns stopped it around the 3-yard line. 3rd and goal coming up. Under 5 minutes to play.
Need some urgency here. A little too much standing around right now. You got to get yourself set.
These are it's not necessarily the last 2 or 3 minutes of a game that you look back and you feel bad about later on, but it's that 7-minute mark to 5 or 4-minute mark where there are plays here and there that you could have, if you just snapped it a little bit earlier, you would have had just that much time at the end. 3rd and goal. The give straight up the middle. Do we have Pater?
Yep.
White team raises their hands. So will we.
And the Stripes just did.
Yes.
Touchdown, White.
Kenneth Goins Jr. with the touchdown. That's the 2nd touchdown of the 2nd half for the White team. 21-16 extra point pending.
Once again, Kenneth Goins Jr. just showing how valuable he is as a football player. putting his head down, using those legs, that density, as you
There
like
you
to call
go.
it, Steve. Getting
you
himself
go.
in the end zone.
As George McFly once said, I am your density. Under 4 minutes to play, running clock here.
Uh-oh, here we go.
2-point conversion
Okay,
attempt.
he tried the drop kick.
Drop
Just
kick.
went a little bit everywhere from Brad Craddock.
Man.
This is not Australian rules football. Or maybe it is.
We were at a football game and a
Lateral
rugby
again.
match broke out.
Yeah.
And another one. Where's
Now that's a lateral forward.
where's the
forward
Benny
pass.
Hill theme music when you need it?
Man, that could have been the highlight of the night if he could have drop kicked that.
21-16, extra
Wow.
point. Botched.
I've
Less
been
than
watching
ideal.
football a long time. I haven't seen that.
that.
I have not seen that.
That usually does not cross the minds of a kicker scrambling for his life to try to drop kick.
21-16 with special teams out of the equation too this afternoon. That means the white team defensively needs a quick stop here.
Now they're going to start it here on the what is it? The 35-yard line, 30-yard line.
That goes back to that kicking process we were talking about earlier. I couldn't tell because we were kind of blocked by the holder whether it was a bad snap that skipped on him or just the holder mishandled
Might have been
it.
a little out of reach, but it's still, that's where the
That's the
practice comes
process.
in. You know, if you got a bad snap, you got a holder that's going to make up for the mistake.
And now, you
But
can
he's
just see-
confident. I
yeah.
talked with Brad last week. He said he's confident. He's going to find the right guys. They really want Caleb Rowe for some reason to be the holder, which you don't usually see from the starting quarterback. But right now, just not able to do it because of that knee injury.
Especially, at least in the college game too.
He's got leak.
First down, here's Hills. Fires downfield, pass. Oh, out of bounds. Incomplete.
You know what? The kicker is one position where I feel has veto power over the head coach. If he says I need Caleb Rowe to be my holder, I'm the only one. He's the only one I'm comfortable with.
He's at least got to listen to him.
He's
I
got to
guess.
at least listen to him.
Flag on the play.
And the other position that doesn't fly.
Kickers.
Long snapper maybe,
Yeah, I mean,
but not as much as holding.
Not as
You
much.
really do have to be in sync.
Craddock will have a lot of say in who is his holder.
3:05 to play in the fourth quarter. Red team leads the white,
Holding. Offense,
21-16.
number 73. Penalties decline. Second down.
Second down, smart call there because that gives him an extra down
That's
as
right.
opposed to moving him back. 21-16. White team looking to get the ball back for one last shot.
It's all on the defense right now for the white. Get a stop. It'll be second down and 10.
Ball spotted on the near hash mark. Two wide receivers split to the far side. Out of the shotgun, Perry Hills. One back in the backfield.
Pistol.
Hills
Same play.
rolling to his right, looking downfield. Fires,
Oh.
pass almost intercepted. There have been a couple near picks today where either the DB or linebacker's gone out of bounds. That time, a drop, incomplete.
Kind of
This game
shaking.
gets real interesting if he makes that pick.
I'm kind of itching my head, saying first of all, why is the red team throwing the ball? I don't know why they need to, but even so, don't make a bad decision like that, Perry. Perry doesn't want to give the ball in their own territory to the other team who's trying to knock on the door and take the lead at the very end here. You don't want to throw an ill-advised pass at that point. Throw it out of bounds.
Kind of
That's
goes back
okay.
to our report on Perry too. I mean, he's had the 3 touchdowns in the league, but he's also thrown the bad decisions down here in the flats through the pick, and he's had a couple that have been dropped. So
I think that's uncharacteristic for Perry. That may be that Perry's trying to prove himself a little bit too much, maybe pressing a little too much rather than just doing what he would normally do and is make the smart decision and not put your team in a position where they're going to get hurt.
2:49 to play in regulation. Red team leading the white 21-16. They have the football 3rd and 10 from their own 30-yard line. Operating out of the shotgun, Perry Hills. Hills looking for time. Now hands off. There's a flag down.
More holding.
Making his way near the first down markers, Albert Reed could have a hold. That would bring things back. Under 3 minutes to play in regulation.
nice play by Albert Reed at the end. I mean, this might not come into play because of the holding penalty, but he was very close to getting hit and knocked out of bounds. But knowing 4-minute drill, stay in bounds and keep the clock running, was able to keep his feet just so he could fall back in bounds to keep the clock moving.
Yeah, most people might not think that's such a big deal, but
Yeah.
the coaches
Holding. Offense, number 54. Penalties decline, 4th down.
To the coaches, you know, a kid who makes a smart, heady play like that, then when it comes fall time and the game's on the line, you're thinking, you know what? Reed's the kind of kid that is going to be smart. He's going to keep the clock moving. He's going to make the right decision, and that's how you make the decision of who's in the game. When the game's on the line.
2:27 to play in regulation. Red team leads the white 21-16. This is BTN to go. Dave Preston at the 50-yard line with Tim Strachan, Steve Suter. As we're wrapping up spring workouts today. Steak and lobster for the winner. Frank and beans for the loser. Or though, could you really be a loser if you're having Frank and beans, because it's so darn tasty?
No, I mean, I'll take Frank and beans tonight since my wife's out of town.
Yeah, see?
That'd be better than anything I'm probably going to make tonight.
4th down, a punt pending. Here's Schrader. Kick dribbles inside the 30-yard line. So with under 2 minutes to play, the white team will get one last crack.
You know, this kind of draws up pretty nice for Etzel. You get a situation where you actually get a 2-minute drill that actually means something. It's not somebody's down 20 or somebody's down 18.
Let's get my juices flowing, man.
Yeah,
Who would have known that
right
we'd
now.
have a game on our hands here?
Right now,
It was
the players out there
21-3,
got serious. So
I'm in heaven as it is with football in the spring, but calling a game with just under 2 minutes to go, a 5-point ball game with the team that's down 5 points trying to go down and
get some lobster.
take the lead. Get some lobster. Go get your lobster, boys.
Ball spotted at the
Got to get some lobster today.
Ball spotted, short hash mark on the 23-yard line. Back in the shotgun, Cockerell. One back alongside the quarterback. A left-hander looks long, fires over the middle, pass behind his wide receiver Malcolm Colmer, the intended target.
I wonder if he thought Malcolm was going to settle there. Looked like he was throwing the ball to where he thought Colmer should be, and Colmer kept moving and drifting inside. I'm going to put that on the receiver because I'm a quarterback, and quarterbacks are rarely wrong.
They're infallible, right, yes. A minute 35
Rarely
to
wrong.
play. Here's Cockerell. Bubble screen, left side, caught by Jaquil Vay, but does he have enough room? To the 25, didn't even get to the 25. Kind of tried to scoot his way there.
Nice play by Jermaine Carter Jr., middle linebacker.
I think if the coaches had to give, a ball to the person in the spring that's come the furthest, I think it's Jermaine Carter Jr.
Okay.
His name keeps getting mentioned time after time after time. I think he's going to be a special player.
3rd and long. Cockerell fires left side, passes incomplete, Will Likely. Flag on the play. That will do it, though, if unless it's a penalty against the red team that prevents the turnover. Interesting to see what the flag will be. A
Personal
minute.
foul on defense, number 90. The player is ejected. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Ejected.
Wow.
In the spring game.
That is.
That might be beans and franks for him, even though he's on the winning team.
Yeah, no, he's probably going to just get salad.
Roman Braglio, there is a tofu option after all.
Come
Yeah,
on,
he
Roman.
gets stuff.
So Roman Braglio's brother had a baby the same time my baby was delivered. We were in the hospital together.
Oh, nice.
We were in the
He didn't get thrown
side-by-side
out.
rooms.
He didn't get thrown out of the hospital, did he?
No, he didn't. No, he was sitting nice in the waiting room. It was his brother's wife giving birth.
Yeah, I have a feeling Mr. Braglio is going to be running a couple extra wind sprints
Yeah, that's
for making a.
knucklehead play.
These
Yeah,
are things
less
Coach
than
Etzel does
ideal.
not like at all.
Yeah.
But does the red team still get to retain the ball? They do. So it didn't hurt his team.
Are we really running victory play in the spring game?
Sure.
61 seconds to play. They will run the victory
Need to
play.
practice
How
it.
about that? Yes.
Greatest
hope-
play in
We
football.
really need to practice this.
You hope you need to practice it. You hope
I
you
say
need
let's
to-
just punt
yes.
it ball back to white team and see if we can do it again.
And Hills takes a knee with 60 seconds to play. 21-16. 3 touchdown passes by Perry Hills to Marcus Leak in the first half, giving him the necessary separation. White team did come back with a pair of touchdown runs in the second half. Brandon Ross, a 56-yard scamper. Then Kenneth Goins, a strong 3-yard run up the middle. A lot of positives on both sides of the ball by both teams.
Yeah, there was. The spring game, you're always looking for, which guys are going to step up, which guys are going to make the big plays. Today, offensively, I think you got to give the game ball to Marcus Leak. You definitely.
right.
And then on the defensive side of the ball, it's between one of the two Carters, either Jermaine Carter Jr. or Antoine Carter, who had the nice little pick.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
Another knee is
I think we got to
rewind
see the
things down.
change. He's not ready.
Not quite.
He got a lot of reps this spring. It was good. It's a very good learning experience for him. He's going to have a lot of film to work off and grow from, but he still has some room to grow, obviously being young. Perry Hills did what Perry Hills does.
Celebration at midfield, the white team piling on Marcus Leak right there. Little post-game shenanigans. Our final score from Capital One Bank Field at Byrd Stadium. The red team beats the white team 21-16. Been great working with you guys this afternoon.
It's been awesome, Dave. Thank you.
This is going to be a tough 4 months before August workouts begin. I can't wait.
We just show up every other week and just.
I wish
we could just pretend. Sure.
We'll just pretend like there's a game.
High schools in the Maryland area. If you want to run your spring game, we'll be here. We'll just yammer.
We'll bring a TV. We'll play some Madden. We'll just commentate during the Madden.
Exactly. So the red team beats the white team 21-16. Perry Hills finding Marcus Leak 3 times this afternoon. For pay dirt, Brandon Ross, Kenneth Goins scoring for the white team. That's our final score. The red team beats the white. We look forward to seeing you here Saturday, September 5th, when Richmond, the Spiders, come to College Park. Maryland will open up its 2015 schedule against Richmond September 5th. For Tim Strackett, for Steve Suter, this is Dave Preston. I'll see you at the 50-yard line.